ukuthi nathi sibe khona. Abantu abaningi bayamangala ukuthi kanti ngikhonza phi. Mina ngikhonza uNkulunkulu nje.
Base, what's your status?
I am on site at both positions where Ayanda should be expected. And I do not see.
Operator, over.
I do not see Ayanda. Ayanda is not at the position appointed on the mission.
Have you located Ayanda at this point? Is he on site? Is he at the appointed mission's position?
Ayanda is not in position at the appointed meeting. Over.
What was the instructions upon his mission?
Operator on site. I can confirm Ayanda is not in position. Matthew 28 states the mission clearly. The mission is to preach the gospel to all four corners of the world. And Ayanda is not doing that right now. I do not see him on mission. Even he might be doubting where he's standing. According to the statement that he made on video.
Nathi sibe khona. Abantu abaningi bayamangala ukuthi kanti ngikhonza phi. Mina ngikhonza uNkulunkulu nje. So la khonza khona uNkulunkulu ngikhona. So kuthiwe makuthiwa angize lapha ngathi ayisenishilo ngeke nginisho kaningi alibonga igama lenkosi. Inhliziyo yami inokuthi amabandla kuyafuna ukuthi ahlangane nje. Alibonga igama lenkosi. Akabonga uNkulunkulu. Angingandike ngenkulumo asabelele mfowethu sithi ngene indawo isekhona bese siyagoduka.
As we last stated or as we last saw, Ayanda says that churches should gather together. Is he saying that the Church of Jesus Christ should gather with the Shembe movement? What is Ayanda saying? Like I stated, this is a very confusing state. I don't know if we are aborting the mission on trying to extract Ayanda. Ayanda needs to report back on duty or we have a soldier down. We're not saying people should not express their faith the way they see fit, but the Bible should be within those parameters. Mission control, permission to go in.
Permission granted, permission granted. We have a very difficult situation here. So we kept getting reports from some of you guys, the officers on the field, and they were saying one of the soldiers has not been spotted on site or in position of his mission. You know, some are appointed pastors, some are ministers, and some are evangelists, some are, but then it becomes very tricky or confusing when an officer appointed, as he would state, to a certain location is not on that site. So right now we only have footage of him kneeling at some base. Listening to Ayanda's statement in that clip, it's very clear we don't know where the brother is. Now, there is a moment where he stops himself. It's almost like he realizes that he's about to speak in areas that he ought not to.
Inhliziyo yami inokuthi amabandla kuyafuna ukuthi ahlangane nje. Alibonga igama lenkosi. Akabonga uNkulunkulu. Angingandike ngenkulumo.
Ayanda is an advocate, and so I'm guessing he knows, you know, every word you say will be recalled back to you in the court of law. And so these particular statements that he was making are very dodgy, man, if I may say so myself. I think right now we can go back to the officer on site so he can break the situation further down. Clear. So upon looking on the situation, we realized that Ayanda was in a position that we didn't know. So we investigated the situation a little bit further to understand what's going on, and hence the footage that is received right now. Word on the ground is that Ayanda states certain things, and upon our investigation, we see that it's not looking good. I don't know if we have an officer down situation or what's going on. I don't know if we need to abort mission of extraction, or if Ayanda can give proof of life, proof that there is really something going on that we can come in and be of assistance. But in the first statement, he says that when he saw this crowd of the Shembe movement, it encouraged him. It encouraged him that, churches should gather together. That statement, it's very perplexing. It's contrary to the mission that we were given. Our book of conduct, which is called the Bible, for those that do not know, states that not to be equally yoked with unbelievers. But it also tells us our marching orders. Go ye into the world and teach them, therefore, of the things that I have taught you. So if we are instructed to go and teach the things that he has taught us, there is nowhere in that mandate where we are to believe that there is another way. The Shembe movement, as we have actually noted, is that they believe that Shembe, their leader, is the way. They literally write it on their taxis, they write it on their bumper stickers, they wear smaller necklaces that actually have it and stuff. So we know these things. We know what they believe, we know what they stand on. And so their mission is not ours. Their mission, it's the mission of the church that we look at before we create such alliances as he would want us to. And so his marching orders were gospel musicians, portray that particular part of the mission. As we stated earlier on, we don't know that if that's why he stops in the middle of it because he realizes it's an error or what, but it didn't make sense. If they say their leader is the way, and Jesus in John chapter number 14 says he is the way, we have a contradiction. And contradictions leads to confusion. The Bible is very clear that God is not an author of confusion. And so we're not clear on what mission he's speaking about. I don't know if he's gone rogue or what's going on. Like I stated, we need him to confirm back to us that he understands what's at stake. Asking us something that sounds out of the ecumenical movement. The ecumenical movement seeks to unite all faiths. And so I have no problem with people of Shembe doing what they're doing over there. But when a person from the church, with the influence that Ayanda has, goes over there and then says unity, it's a confusing message, And so, as the officer asked what the mission was, his mission in this particular position, according to their thing, it was a birthday invitation, the same one that Pastor Sthembiso Zondo received, and he honored. Sthembiso went out there, said some very heretical things. There's no doubt about that. You can check the channel for that. And Ayanda, though he might not be echoing it the same way or adding to the heresies of Sthembiso Zondo, Ayanda's message of unity, it certainly sends confusion, because there are people that might be struggling to understand the gospel because they are from that angle. And so if you tell them to keep on marching in the direction they are without the gospel, if you just keep quiet, there's nothing, right? But if you say unity, when you are there, what unity are you talking about? What's going on? And so it sends confusion. Our Our marching orders are very simple, clear, written in stone, as you might actually laughingly say, but it is actually written in stone. It's written in hard rock. That's why the Bible says, upon this rock will I build my church. So it's written in stone, the marching orders of the believer. And so I don't know, if it's comfortable going out there like that. You lose your self-rewards before God because you've told people to do contrary to what he says. They came to Jesus after he performed the miracle of the bread, and they said, what is it that God would want us to do? And he said, that you may believe on him whom he has sent. And that meant him particularly. It didn't mean me and you who are sent to minister the gospel. No, we don't believe in those people. We believe in him who was sent. You see, remember, it is written of me to fulfill, according to the volume, basically. You don't know that. I think it's Isaiah. It's written of me to come and fulfill in the volume of the book, to fulfill thy will, O God. He meant him. And so he is the one whom we follow, not leaders of a church, not a cliche or anything. We go to church, but we should not undermine the gospel in acknowledging our church. So this is a very confusing message. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what marching orders is on. We are soldiers for the ministry. We are soldiers. When you are a soldier, it's very clear. You spend weeks and weeks being instructed in your operation or your marching orders, as you might call them. And after you've received that, you cannot deviate. We call that rogue. But Thessalonians warns us that there will be such, where people will be falling off in the last day. So I'm not reporting on the best of news. I don't know if we still have a soldier in that area or if we've lost one. Reporting back, it's Ricky and I'm out.